Okay. Welcome everybody to Live at the Hive, episode 193, Digital Marketing from the Trenches. I'm your host, Theodore. No, joking. I'm David Dunko.
I'm
welcome. Yes. Go ahead, Stace.
I'm Stacy DeSantis, trying to wipe away the tears from laughing so hard over here.
And I'm Justin Basia, loving it, to be honest.
Well, you know, we're trying to spice things up a little bit. I'll get better. We'll get better. So kicking off today, we are going to be talking about how to create content machines and content and repurpose long-form video content using our very own Live at the Hive as a working example of creating long-form content that has takes far more effort actually to produce. Takes a team of people to do it. I don't know, Stacey, how many people do we have on producing Live at the Hive every week at this point?
At least 5 or 6 of us now.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So we've got everybody. Pippa, welcome. April, welcome. Welcome, everybody. We got 10 live viewers. That's great to see. Feel free to drop a comment, ask a question. We are here for you. So today what we're talking about is taking long-form content and then slicing and dicing it, repurposing it across TikTok, across Instagram, across LinkedIn, across your website, making things snackable, right? So the basic idea here is that with Live at the Hive, it's 45 minutes to an hour. And that's consumable for some people, but for some people it simply isn't, right? And we live in a snackable world where it's like one question, one answer, right? Both Justin and Stacy, you guys live this pretty much every single day of your lives, right?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So the idea is that when we craft the long form content, what we're looking to do is we're looking to actually manufacture snackable content within the long form content. See what I just did there? That's actually an example of doing it, is creating those moments that can be clipped easily and be clipped quickly. But, you know, it's this kind of common thing where you get influencers saying, you know, just repurpose your content, right? But the question is how?
Yeah. Or you get people that say, I have no content. And we're like, actually, if we repurpose,
everybody has content.
You've got a lot to work with, you know?
You absolutely do. And Justin, I know you and your team have been in the position of producing, hundreds of pieces of content a month for even a single client, right?
Yep. And like if we can, especially today that we're talking about video, like if we can grab like some more snippets and stuff and get more out of the time we put into that one asset, then amazing, right?
Totally. Absolutely. And what we're going to talk about today is the influencers will say repurpose content, but how do you do it? We're actually going to show you our process and how we go about doing it. And we're going to talk about some of the fundamental reasons why we go through this process, how you can do it, even if you're a solopreneur or a one-person marketing team. There are very low-cost tools. A lot of them are free. We're trying to show you the free tools. Here we go. Hey, bees, sent by the lovely Pippa. Nicely done, Pippa. Way to go. And Paige is saying, get the most mileage out of your content. Absolutely. Content creation is expensive. Takes time, a lot of effort.
Kate is actually a marketing whiz over in the UK. So, hey, Kate.
Awesome.
Hey.
Good to hear it. Welcome. All right. So we are going to be walking through that entire process. But first, uh-oh. Still getting used to my soundboard. But first, Stacy, let yourself become calm and serene. There you go. Find your Zen place before we jump into what's new in the world of digital marketing. I don't know what I'm doing with the sound effects anymore. There you go.
I was almost asleep there.
There you go. All right. So this week we've got some exciting and interesting news. Starting from the top, this one I really liked when I saw it. I thought this was great. When the platforms put out high quality guides and academies that really go deep, they're really indispensable. And LinkedIn did just publish a new guide on how to use organic and paid strategies to maximize branding impact. This is a really well done guide, and they do dive into how LinkedIn works a little bit and what you can, and they're really enabling marketers and content creators on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is really a lot different than a lot of other networks, and they do have this distinguishing fact about them. So definitely something to check out. They break down some content. How to use paid audiences and profile-based targeting. Very, very handy information, especially since LinkedIn is more expensive than Facebook and Google because it's a smaller market. So you want to definitely be careful about what you're doing and specifically how you're doing it on LinkedIn.
Yeah, and that's really smart they do that, because that not only helps their customers, but also helps LinkedIn.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, and it's like, what were they saying in this report? They said 61% of page followers exposed to a mixture of organic and paid content are more likely to convert. That's a pretty good percentage. But I think from LinkedIn, no, just the LinkedIn point of view, it's like, I don't know. It's like one of those things, as marketers, we know it's a powerful tool, but it's kind of mysterious in a way, because we're always so used to the traditional like Facebook and Instagram. And I love how they've broken this down for us. So it's actually saying, hey, this is how you can truly optimize and get real value out of this social platform.
Mm-hmm. And we talk a lot about attributing content to the right sources using right attribution models, right? And attribution models come in various forms. The one that most marketers and most businesses use is called last click attribution. And frankly, that's just a bad model to attribute performance based on the fact that, time decay is my favorite. So if you track someone coming through, say a Facebook ad, a Google ad, a direct type search, an organic search, then a direct type search, and a purchase or a registration, that is quite often how all these channels will work together. And you can't just use one channel to drive all of your marketing efforts. It's simply not going to be effective. So I'm glad that they're surfacing this and really trying to promote it, because we spend a lot of time trying to promote that in our programs as well.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, because it just gets forgotten sometimes, and it shouldn't. So
yeah. Cool. Moving right along, we've got Instagram again. Shop tab, shop. Justin, you're a big Instagram user, aren't you?
I am, but I'm not a huge Instagram shopper. Maybe not yet, because they seem to be investing a lot into it. So that's really good for other companies. I do see the ads come through, and you can really see the targeting is getting really good, because they're really getting you with what you've been looking at before and all that good stuff. But I think definitely it could be a good turning point. Clearly, they see a lot of good numbers into it, because they're investing more money into it. I don't think Instagram would invest any more if it wasn't going to work. But yeah, it's kind of exciting.
Yeah, I think this is just the evolution of where Instagram is going, and in a sense, and this is TBD in terms of how they're getting a lot of flack from TikTokers and people on TikTok because of TikTok's organic algorithms surfacing content and really allowing for discoverability, where Instagram still doesn't seem to be doing it. I wonder how that's going to change, with the shopping angle. And we've been talking about this for what, Stacey, 18 months?
Oh,
I think
yeah, easily.
Maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
This has been an ongoing push of Instagram. My take on it is Facebook is really looking to diversify just on advertising alone. Now, even though this is an advertising feature, the whole shopping notion puts them it'd be interesting to see how that plays out, but more of a competitor to Amazon. So
yeah, that's
true. And my 5th Amazon package of the week just arrived.
Oh my God.
I have a problem.
Yeah,
I could almost see like Instagram adding next, like almost like a marketplace like Facebook has. If they want to kind of go into that shopping, I could see Instagram doing really well with something like that as well.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see. Definitely e-commerce is like their number one thing, and who knows what they're going to do with shopping features, right? I don't think Instagram really knows what it is right at this very moment. It's trying to be all things to all people, and I just don't think that that's necessarily a great way to engage with a large customer base like they've got.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like with Justin. I'm on Instagram a lot, but I don't go there to shop per se. I go there for like inspiration and, you know, to see what, you know, friends and family are up to. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I don't know. There's just something about it that doesn't. I guess they're trying to keep it like so that you're always in Instagram too. And
well, we know that Mark Zuckerberg is pure as the driven snow. He's a really good guy. He only has the best intentions of his users at heart.
Yeah, that's why he's creating the meta universe.
But okay, yeah, okay. I want to talk a little bit about that because actually, I think that is one of our topics.
It is, you know, it's very Ready Player One, if you ask me.
Okay,
Totally.
We got to talk about Fortnite then if we're going to talk about that, because Fortnite is creating the metaverse. They're already doing it. They did it with Ariana Grande's last concert. That was a live concert with Ariana Grande as an avatar in the Fortnite game. Facebook's, do we have that link handy? I know it's in the, let me just see. I wasn't actually going to pick that one, to be honest with you, but you brought it up. And I saw the CBS April. Mark Zuckerberg is a lizard person, or so they say. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
He goes to pizza parlors too. No, forget it. I'm not going there. Anyways, where is it? AR. Oh, TikTok is developing AR. Can someone shoot me that in the chat or something?
Oh yeah, here. Got it. Hold,
okay.
Please.
So here's the thing about that. The graphics in their metaverse are absolutely atrocious. It looks like, well, it looks a little bit like...
Put it in our private chat.
God. There we go. Yeah. Well, this is the TikTok one, though.
Does it look like RuneScape-y?
No, it looks like, oh my God, what's the Nintendo game? Mr. Nook.
Oh, I know the one.
Why am I forgetting this? What's that, Justin?
Animal Crossing?
Yeah, it looks like a little like a Animal Crossing, but not nearly as good a quality, if that makes sense.
It.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. So when you get that, can you throw that in the private chat, Stace, and we'll look at it?
Yeah. You can see it. It's how they're going to compete with Zoom using this, but
I don't really see it that way myself. Okay, so Facebook's Horizon Workrooms. Hey, I know. Okay, so this is their virtual reality world. Facebook, I mean, sorry, not Facebook, but Fortnite has been developing itself as an actual metaverse for a lot longer. And if you look at the quality of a Fortnite game versus what this looks like, the two don't even come close to reality. I think this is an interesting little take. It's kind of cute. They're trying to push Oculus. As far as it becoming a real solid contender against a Zoom, I would be absolutely shocked. I still think it's too far out. Like I said, it's interesting, but is it practical? Not really. You're going to buy your whole team a set of Oculus Rifts that stick off their face, half a foot. So that's my take. I think this is a long-term plan for a VR ecosystem. Obviously, their Oculus product is something they want to push. But I just don't think it's 100% practical, to be honest. I think it's cute. It looks good on CBS News. It makes them look kind of neat and innovative, but as a practicality, I just don't think it's happening. I could be wrong.
It's not yet. I think it's a bit too soon, but at least they're kind of like testing the waters,
Yeah, I would be more interested to see what where Epic Games is going to go with Fortnite, because they have said for a long time Fortnite is a platform, it's not a video game. And they're releasing creation tools, and that's one step away from somebody stepping in and integrating meetings with that Fortnite metaverse, which is far more powerful in terms of its maturity, if you're familiar with what that game looks like. So
Yeah.
Don't you think the Oculus kind of looks like a cell phone from 1990?
it's got a ways to go in terms of the tech, right?
You
Like
know what I mean?
they're pretty big
Yeah.
and bulky. Yeah, they're pretty big and bulky. They're still pretty pricey. I think the one thing was too is that in order to use Oculus, this was last year, it was a bit of a controversy that you had to now use a Facebook account to use an Oculus Rift, which forced people that maybe didn't want to use a Facebook account with Oculus to do so. So we shall see. So next up on the horizon here, I can't believe I forgot Animal Crossing's name. Jeez, that's just age and not my that's my brain. Not that I didn't know it. All right, TikTok. This one's a good one. TikTok is partnering with Shopify for in-app shopping. Shoppable tabs will be available in the TikTok business account. I love it. One of the things I love about this, I hate you, adage. I hate you. I don't want to subscribe.
No.
But TikTok partnering with Shopify for in-app shopping is significant because Shopify's mission is to democratize e-commerce, which I think is really important. And it really enables small business to monetize. And it provides tools for small businesses to monetize at scale, getting features they wouldn't have otherwise had. I don't know, have you guys ever used the Shopify Shop app for your mobile device?
I haven't. But
No,
one thing I kind of like for this too is like you can kind of see if you work with influencers at all. Like you can see influencers would almost have like a swipe to buy like right there of like the kind of thing that they're modeling or that kind of stuff. I think it'd be really good strategy that way as well. So I think it'd be really big.
Yeah, and so what the Shop app is if you've got a account, you create a Shopify Pay, you download the app, and if you're shopping on a Shopify site, it's basically kind of like a one-click registration and one-click purchase centralized, and it gives you all of the shipping updates. So it's very Amazon-like, but that wouldn't be accessible to a small, business and under other circumstances. So they really are giving small businesses the tools that the big enterprise e-commerce players have that allow them to compete a little bit more effectively. And this is just another example therein of TikTok partnering with Shopify to bring those shoppable tabs to TikTok influencers. And I think that's a big deal because you see a lot of businesses becoming media creators, which is something I really believe in too, is by being a media and a creator, creating media and then having a product, you're building your audience first and your product second, which makes sense, right? From a marketing perspective. Yeah. So here we go. And April's saying, I think it's a great partnership. There's so many small businesses going viral for their content. Yes, they are. They really are. And that's important because some of these small businesses that get millions and millions of views, can have a huge impact on their business. 100%. Okay, let's move right along.
Okay.
Another great guide from Google. Oh, we're hanging out on what's new for a long time. I guess there's a lot of new stuff happening. Google updates how its search works website, providing more insight into SEO best practices. So that's this guide right here. And actually, this is the beginning one, but there's an advanced Google search section center where you can get into really technical SEO. I often refer web developers that we work with projects on, but in terms of you getting started, hello, pretty good, eh? No, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Pippa is rolling her eyes as we speak.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how that one went. Yeah. I know, I'm aware. But this guide is a great way for you if you're just new to Google search, you understand the importance of it, but you don't exactly know what to do next, then this is a great place for you to start. And it's an awesome resource. And Google has really been building up these resources. We'll put the link in. Yeah, there it is. I'll put the link in the chat so you can go grab that at your leisure. All righty. I think we're going to have to wrap it there. Let's see.
Next, we have a lot to talk about with the video.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. So let's get going. Just give my screen 1 second to catch up to itself. Okay, so here we go. Brandon. Certified Englishman. Yeah. No. I did live in Liverpool, though, and London a million years ago. Let's not get into it. I don't want to talk about it.
In a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
A galaxy far, far away. Some 30-odd years ago, okay?
Not that far away.
Oh, that's pretty far, my friend. That's pretty far. All right, let's get going here. Let's talk about repurposing long-form video content and how you can do this. So our example today is actually live at the Hive, our weekly live stream. Like I said, it runs 45 minutes to 1 hour. And the point of doing this is a fewfold, right? We do it both to keep our team up to date on what's happening and some of the best practices we like to use. So that's effective there. We create a library of content. We've got almost 200 episodes. We're pushing episode 200 in a couple of months that are customers and anybody really, like, we're really creating this library so they can go back, and if you're specifically looking for SEO or paid ads or content creation, you know, it's all there for you to weed through. But the thing is in order to make this work, we've got to create what we call a content machine. And what a content machine is really nothing more than a standard operating procedure so we can become efficient, right? This is something both Justin and Stacy, you have both been a part of creating some of these systems, specifically with some of our clients that had a lot of Instagram content, that had a lot of LinkedIn infographics content, and some of our higher volume media clients that we work with. And it's processes, tools, and systems that all work together, right? Was there anything that either of you wanted to add to that little bit there?
Well, I think on the flip side too, you might have a situation where you think you don't have any content and everyone does have content. So this is a great way to learn how to not only take mountains of content that you might have, but it's a way to leverage the content that you might not know exists and repurpose it. So that way you can, you know, maybe you have a long form video and you think, oh, I could only ever post that on YouTube. Well, no, you can actually post that as a reel on Instagram. You could put it as a TikTok. You could take the information from it, make it into an infographic. So we're going to get into that, not to steal the thunder of the show, but, you know, and having those processes helps you do that efficiently.
Yeah. So, you know, the question is, why are we repurposing and what's the point of it, right? So, you know, there are several reasons why, but a lot of it is really about efficiency, and it's about maximizing the value of the effort you put into this content creation. If you produce a webinar, you're looking at about 2 weeks of production time to prep properly for a webinar to make sure it's going to go off well. That goes everything from creative to content to, you know, identifying your host, setting up the schedule, producing it, dry running, setting up all your emails, everything else.
Promoting it.
Yep, and promoting it. So the real point of repurposing content, and this is important, is content has context on social media. What you do on TikTok is not what you should be doing on potentially Instagram, and not what you should be doing or how you should be doing it on LinkedIn. When you repurpose the content, the context of the channel and the audience and how they behave on that is extremely important. And so when we talk about repurposing, and we're going to get into the how real quick, because I know we're going to run out of time today if we hang out here too long, is that when we're repurposing, we're not just chopping things up, we're chopping it up intentionally, and we'll give you some rules and formats. But let's actually just talk a little bit here quickly about some of the rules for social video. Okay. And social video is snackable. It's short, quickly digestible. You're not making a big ask of your audience, but you are giving them something of value in the content itself. Okay.
Yeah.
So a few things. Yeah, totally. A few things here. You want to create a strong hook. In the first 3 seconds of that video, you have got to get their attention. And you do this with various techniques, including interruptive intros and transitions. We'll show you some of that. A very strong hook in the first 3 seconds. Do not put a 10-second intro on a 45-second video, right?
No.
Yeah.
People will just bounce.
Yeah, and don't rely on music to grab a hook either, because a lot of people watch the videos on mute when it comes to social, so don't rely on like a pumpy beat to pull the people in.
Yeah, and the only exception I would make on that is really TikTok.
Yes.
They're the ones
agreed.
that popularize audio on. Yeah, for sure. A couple of other points to keep your social video in line. So TikTok, 45 seconds to 55 seconds. Instagram in feed, 45 seconds to 55 seconds. Shorts, same thing. LinkedIn, 2 minutes to 2.5 minutes. People are a little bit stickier on LinkedIn, more likely to watch a little bit longer format. You can try the TikTok 3 minute. I better be a good video for me on TikTok if it's going to be 3 minutes.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, sometimes they feel like they're drawing out too long just to use it. You know what I mean?
I'm a little annoyed by it, to be honest with you, because there's some like creators, which I really love their content before they came out with the 3 minute option, because they just got to the point, it was informative, and now it's like this has more time for them to ramble, and you're like, okay, get to the point already.
Yeah, it's I actually wonder if it's just a test and how it's going to go and what they're going to do with it, but I think the 3 minute videos just may not stick around, but who knows? So moving right along on our rules and formats for effective social video. And this is actually all of marketing. I think this is something. Always create an emotional response. Marketing is emotions, right? Like you see these videos that go viral, there's always an emotional reaction, whether it's positive or negative. And so don't make it boring. Don't make it bland. You've got to create that sentiment right away to keep people hooked. And then lastly, simple and jarring transitions will get people's attentions. And you'll see YouTube, successful YouTubers, and you will see every 20 seconds or so, it's a slight different zoom, and they move around. Their editors are doing that. The reason for that is it catches people's eyes and it keeps them watching. Oh, Paige is saying this. From marketing rumors, apparently TikTok is testing 5 minute videos.
Wow, they're really coming for YouTube gigs now.
Yeah, unfortunately, TikTok is no YouTube. And I don't mean it in that way, but YouTube is a totally different animal and so far mature, right? That YouTube can be a lot of things to a lot of people, right? And I just don't think that people are going to stick around on TikTok for 5 minutes. So we'll see. I'll have to look that up.
Well, I'll stick around for 5 minutes, but I'll go through 20 videos between that.
Yeah, exactly. Paige is the target demographic for most of the world. Please keep it to 30 seconds or less for my goldfish attention span. Perfect. And then pattern interrupts are extremely important. You know, like this is a good example of a pattern interrupt, right? And so is this. And so by doing this, and you know, these, oh, am I still on? Do I sound like a hamster? Do I sound like hamsters right now? No, I don't.
No.
Okay.
You sound normal.
Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate. I really enjoy the hamsters.
And we'll be adding even to this more pattern interrupts, including animated memes on screen and stuff like that. So those are some important rules for you there that you can take into account when you're building your social repurposed video content. Okay. So the first thing that we do, and Stacey, I don't know if you want to speak to this or I can speak to it, is our YouTube chaptering.
Yeah. Well, we do this after every show. So we actually have someone who's recording or actually time stamping when we might have a good clip that would be snackable. If we change topics, if we go, for instance, from what's new to the topic of the week, we will record that into chapters. And this is what we're adding to the description on our YouTube video. And what this does is it helps people get to the piece of content that they are most interested in. So maybe they're not interested in what's new, but they really want to find out, how do you edit a YouTube video into a TikTok? Okay, great. I can just jump to that chapter, and YouTube allows you to do that. And I think there was even a story that we reported probably 2 weeks ago where now if you're on YouTube and you searched, I don't know, how to clip an Instagram video, it will actually bring up chapter recommendations from different videos. So it's a great way to also help with your search ability on YouTube itself. So.
It's also like a learning experience. Like if you find like if people are like more listening to certain chapters, you know the type of content that people want to see too, right?
100%. Yeah. It's really great at optimizing.
So there's a couple of features I'm going to show. Hopefully it'll come up. No, of course it doesn't. Keyframes. Okay, just give me 1 second here. So we're looking at chaptering for a few purposes here. So someone on the team is creating those timestamps, like Stacey said. To Justin's point, it is definitely powerful for. You just see there. It's definitely powerful for usability and searchability on YouTube itself, but it also has an impact on Google search itself. So you can see here's the video on keyframe basics for Davinci, and found the relevant clip here, it's saying. And then also Google is now also indexing chapters in the search engine itself with relevant moments based on someone's search. So if someone were looking for, how to create subtitles on vertical video, and we have that as a topic coming up shortly, and our chapter says that we have the ability to rank in Google search for that search term based on our chapter. Yeah.
Well done.
So that it's a little bit of a mouthful, but that's the other one. The last point for us to be doing this in the chaptering is that provides the guide for video editing after the fact, whether it's myself or one of our video editors, to come in and know where the chaptering is for our clips.
Exactly. Right? Oh, yeah. It saves a ton of time, and you just work much more efficiently by having those. So.
Absolutely. So, and now I'm going to use for this example Davinci Resolve, and the reason I'm featuring Davinci Resolve is it's free. Now, if you're not familiar with video editing,
what was that?
It's free.
What?
It's free. It's free. There we go. Okay, so but you have a few other options. There's Davinci Resolve. There's Adobe Rush. There's Wave.video, which is an online video creator. You've got iMovie on a Mac for free. Look, Windows Movie Maker, whatever. All you're doing with these is clipping them. Like you're not using any. So Davinci Resolve, just for a little bit of background, is like one of the top leading choices for Hollywood studios for color grading and for editing. Like I'm not going to speak out of turn, but like the Avengers, like that type of thing. But if you look at my screen here, I'm going to go over a little bit, just a quick intro to Davinci Resolve. Here we have our main clip down here in the main timeline. Okay. Now this is part of the how do you actually do this, but you could do this with any one of those other tools. Okay. The only thing you need are the ability to cut, create markers, create transitions, and then export. That's it. Okay. If you do not have any of these skills, you can go to Fiverr, you can go to Upwork. There are really good, solid freelancers that will do 5 videos for you out of 15 minutes of video, right? for like 20 bucks. So you've got options is all I'm really saying. So let's just dive back into the process a little bit here. So what I've done in Davinci Resolve is I've taken the chapterized markers, and this all come from the, like literally when I did this one, I had YouTube opened up beside me and I was just cutting and marking and cutting and marking and cutting and marking, right? Creating my sub clips. Okay. Then what I do in Davinci Resolve is you re-add your sub clips back in here. You can see I've numbered them 1 to 9 on this. Might be a little bit hard to see. Okay. Then what I do is I create a timeline for each one. These are for TikTok. So I name it T1, T2, T3, T4, T5. I don't know how easy it is to see, but when I jump over to this timeline, okay, now you can see the format here looks a little different. Now it's vertical, but there's basically a toolbox action that I've got called TikTok, which creates a 9x16 vertical. Then I can zoom and position it. So you can see, I can zoom it, position it. It's moving there. You should be able to see that. And if I wanted to, I could zoom it all the way out. Oops, don't want to do that. And position X, there's my video. See? And then I can create backgrounds, or I can put captions on the top or on the bottom with this. And then all I do is quick export them. Boom, 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 boom. Takes about 1.5 minutes to export each one of these at 1080p. And then they're properly named and properly marked. And I dump them over to Stacy and the team and say, there's your TikToks for nine days. This entire process, the first time we did it, took 2 hours. If you were just fully in production mode and you were heads down, you could probably do these videos in about 30 minutes if you were focused and you knew what was going on, right?
Yeah.
So that's the first stage. So that's actually how you do it. And like I said, if you're using Adobe Rush or Final Cuts or iMovie or Windows Movie Maker, you'd have some technical differences, but you could certainly do this with that. Okay. So that's the first thing. So now you can see what we're doing is we took this long form production that takes 4 to 5 people during the week to put together. And then what we're doing is creating those YouTube chapters so that the video editor can pop it into a video editor, chop, 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 get everything ready to go. And then it's ready for production. You could post from there, but we do one more thing because we're fancy.
We are.
Yes.
We're super fancy. And I'm going to show you right here. Let me just get that ready and put it up. Everybody knows that subtitles are super duper important, and they're really a pain in the butt to make. Now, Adobe Premiere, and I believe Davinci, the paid version, I'm not sure, will actually transcribe for you. But let's just say that you don't have that level of sophistication around video editing, which is fine. I mean, not a lot of people necessarily do. So Zubtitle is the name of the platform, a great little monthly tool that you can use. I'm going to go to the complete here. Now you can actually see all of our videos showing up. So I dump them.
Oh no.
Oh, what's okay?
It's okay. Yeah, so I could actually talk a bit about Zubtitle because I've used
Yeah.
it a ton. You can see, like, obviously you just put in the video that you need. They will transcribe it the best way they can. You have to really take it with a grain of salt though, because it is AI that's transcribing it. So you do have to go through and go through like the subtitles themselves and kind of edit them.
Am I
You're
back? I'm going to be back in a second. I know it. Come on.
Oh, you're already back.
Let's go.
You're already back.
There we go. I think I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that, everybody.
No worries.
I don't know. You know, Rogers
Think about
Residential,
it.
I mean, you pay them $1 bajillion a month for the best thing they have, and it still won't work reliably.
You're preaching to the choir, my friend.
Okay, so I dropped out somewhere around here. But I'm going to reset this one to a draft. So Zubtitle is super cool. This is all automatic. You can see the transcript pop up here. Now, the one thing that I did for Honeypot was you can go in here under edit captions. You could do this with any video, by the way. It doesn't have to be just a social video. You could subtitle, you could technically subtitle an entire long form video, but it's a quick and easy way. It's actually really accurate, shockingly so. Justin, you use this a ton, I believe. Haven't you?
Yeah, I was talking a bit.
Devon?
It's like, it's pretty accurate. Like, it does a really good job, but you still have to comb through it just in case, just to make sure that everything is okay. It'll get like, one thing is that you kind of have to look for is names. It has a hard time with in like certain kind of grammatical stuff, but other than that, it's great. It does a lot of that and makes the videos accessible really quickly.
Yeah, you can download the SRT files as well if you want to do. So there's two types of closed captioning, right? This type of captioning here is more stylistic than specifically trying to get a point across here. But you can use it for accessibility purposes. But just as an example, so the idea here is to optimize, but you can see here, this little part is covering April's face, right? I may not want that. So what I do is I just go here and I click the plus sign and bam, it's going to re-key the video so it's happening at the right time. And you can then go and edit whatever you want.
Oh,
yeah. You'll go in and edit, and like you can cut it wherever you want, like very easily, which is really nice. You can also like adjust it for the time. Like if you do notice that things are maybe a bit off, you can adjust it really, really nicely that way too, which is really good. Then you're pretty much good to go. You like export and then make sure the styling is all good because you want to make sure it's on brand, or again, like you can see all the copy. That's a huge difference.
Hey, come on back to me, baby.
Oh, there he is.
Now you're
Come
back.
on back to me, baby. Okay, I've got gigabit.
Like me a couple weeks ago.
I've got gigabit internet connection, unlimited. I'm on a wired Cat 7 connection. There's no reason that this should be happening to me. Okay. So let's just go back to Zubtitle here quickly. Under the styling, you can custom style your captions to match your brand or whatever you're looking to do. You can fine tune positions here. It's really a fantastic little tool. Then you can just go and you can render and download the video to your machine. And it's just a great from a workflow perspective. I don't know if you both have anything else to add on the Zubtitle side of things.
No, I'm good.
One other small thing is just make sure that when you are adding captions that you understand the platform, the social network that you're putting those captions for. Because, for instance, on TikTok, if you write a caption or you have a bunch of hashtags or even your name, if you have the captions that you've just made in Zubtitle at the bottom, they're going to get cut off and people aren't going to be able to read them.
Yeah,
so understand your dimensions.
You know what? And this is a good point because I made this mistake with this series of videos. But done is better than perfect, Stacy.
Yeah, it's true. And like, thank you for the help.
And lesson learned. Well, what I'm doing is I'm going through the process of setting up the process to be able to hand off the process, and everybody will know exactly how to do it. That's really the point. So, we're willing to make these mistakes because, yeah, if you look at any one of these videos, for example, here. Oh, no, I didn't want to download it. So there's your SRT file. Oh, wait.
Uh-oh. Well.
Yeah. Well, at least now we know. You gotta position them for the UI. Like you gotta look at TikTok's is a bit lower, so you gotta position it up higher. I think it's the same for Reels too. I think their UI, it's like all at the bottom, so you do have to position it a bit higher.
It is true, and sometimes it can be a bit tricky because we've had videos where, like when Dan was just showing that example, you don't want to cut off one of your guests' faces, right? So sometimes if you can,
I'm back.
Oh, he's back.
I'm back. Ay. Okay, here we go. I'll get through this. You can view the transcript. You can download the SRT file, which is the formal closed captioning that you could use that to load an SRT file into YouTube as well. And there you go. Awesome.
YouTube's auto captions should not be trusted sometimes.
Yeah, you know what? YouTube creators have been banned because YouTube's auto transcription, when they turn on closed captioning, actually turns certain words into swear words and into other bad words. And if they have long form videos that they didn't check, they've actually been banned or striked because of YouTube's own system. From the "I can't believe it, YouTube, what are you doing" file. Anyways.
Yeah, right? Right.
Okay, so moving right along, let's hope that my internet connection can hold up for the final 5 of this.
Cool.
Swear I'm gonna spend $1,000 a month and just get some kind of fiber line popped into here. Okay. No, I'm not gonna do that. I've done that before. It's not much better. All right. Adding social video to your content schedule. Now, this is an important point here. I think you want to, one of the powerful things about creating content this way is because these are thematically relevant, right? Like, so last week's we were talking all about search engine optimization. This week we're talking all about content repurposing. All of the videos that you get out of this process are a narrative. It's story. You're telling a timeline and a story from beginning to end, right? So when you're doing this, and really one of the keys to, I think, engaging social content is storytelling. Like, people love stories. That's why we go see the Avengers or whatever your taste is in movies, Harry Potter, or, you know, human beings are driven by storytelling. And by using this kind of a process, you get a natural story that's told over a period of time. So you could say on TikTok, for example, on our Honeypot marketing page, we could say this week is SEO week. We're talking about local SEO, a video a day, every single day. Now, why is that good? Because people maybe that are interested in it will come back to see that theme recurring all throughout the week, right? Mm-hmm. And because of the way that we've done this, we are naturally creating this content machine that allows us to make this happen in an easy way, right? Like, because the majority of our effort really sits in the Live at the Hive itself. Everything else, chop, slice, cut, chop, slice, cut, chop, slice, cut. And it's designed that way, right? So you can also design your webinars in exactly the same way. And one of the reasons I think that's important, I don't know, Stacy, how did Sophia like e-learning on lockdown?
She actually thrived.
Okay.
It was actually like she did really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
She probably did better than when she was at school, which kind of surprised me.
Yeah. So my kids, it depends on their teacher. Their kindergarten teacher for my middle daughter, they were great. They understood that you don't just talk to somebody for 45 minutes to an hour and like they stare at the screen and it is just one long monolithic droning on lecture for kids. These same principles of YouTube videos, how pattern interrupts happen and keeping things snackable, chapterizing things to keep people engaged, you know, having breakout sessions and that kind of engagement also go for webinars, right? Yeah. There's nothing worse in the world than a 45-minute webinar where someone is just droning off and reading their presentation slides.
Yeah. Right? It's a two-way conversation. Even though you might think it's one way, it's actually two-way, because during your webinar, you want to have people asking questions. You want to have breakout sessions. You want to create an environment where you have a specific niche group that want to talk about, I don't know, cryptocurrency or something, and they can actually get into the weeds with it a bit. But another thing too, another tactic is when you're looking at creating this content, one thing that came to mind when you were talking there, Dan, was that there's a reason why how-to videos work, right? You just don't show, oh, look I baked this beautiful cake. Like, how did you what was the process? And people want to see that success, or they want to see that process. They want to see your failures, what didn't work, so they can learn from them. So if you look at pieces of content as a story form, but also how you go from a problem to a solution and what are those steps in between, you've got a winning combo.
Yeah, absolutely. Oops, that's the wrong sound effect. Darn it.
I'm done.
I didn't mean to laugh at you. I didn't mean to laugh at you. I thought that was the applause one. I got to fix these up here. It's only episode 2 of me trying to run a virtual soundboard. All right, so there are some tips. Those are some tips for you. We're over a bit, but I think it's a good topic. So thanks for sticking with us, everybody. I know it's a beautiful Friday afternoon here in southwestern Ontario. Okay, so beyond that now, so we've kind of run the gamut. Like, how do you actually do this? There is another there's a lot of video platforms. Wave.video is reasonably priced. Promo.com is reasonably priced. I actually think we're moving to Wave Video from Promo because the tool set looks a lot more mature than Promo, so we'll get more features for a similar price point. But again, if you have limited video skills, these tools are perfect for this kind of thing, right? You got a lot of templates. Canva does it as well. They have a video builder as well. And I know Canva's super popular. So you got lots of options there. So we've talked about the reasons it's important to weave this into your narrative and how to actually produce those videos. Now just want to touch briefly on how to distribute that content using our ever wonderful Stacy.
See, think, do, Justin, care. Sorry, that was my Justin.
Good job. So distributing social content. So this is super important. And I know some people disagree with this. Some creators disagree with this, but this is how it works. Sorry, there's nothing we can do about it. So what it is the fact that, and actually there's a video of Gary Vee saying this on a stage. I just saw a bunch of TikToks on it. This is not unknown. This See, Think, Do, Care framework was created by Evan and Kaushik. But what it basically says is find a target audience. You can use sparktoro.com to identify audiences and certain types of people, what they follow. It's a great tool by Rand Fishkin, formerly of Moz.com. And you create your audiences and you find their interests. You really start to understand them. You create those audiences in Facebook for Business. Take your video if it's related to them. Now you can use joke videos. You can use memes at this top level to build that audience. If someone interacts with it, then on the Think side, which is the second level, these are your informational videos. So you use at the C side, and you're going to boost to $40 to $80 depending on performance. And you can test this out with smaller numbers. Right? Mm-hmm. Make sure it's attached to your pixel so you can build an audience from it. You're going to go into Facebook Business Manager, into your audience manager. So if we're using video at the top level, we'll create an audience after the fact of people that have watched 3 seconds of the video. That's the audience that you boost the second stage of the Think audience to. The Think is going to be your series that you've created from your long form content, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I'm talking a lot today. There's a lot to unpack in this.
There's a lot to unpack. Yeah.
But I hope this is literally what we do at Honeypot, and this is how we do it. So we're being 100% transparent. We're not hiding anything. We constantly do this kind of thing. As you start to promote those boosts to your audience, you can engage with them, interact with them. If you've done your targeting right, you're providing value to them. And that is going to be your jab, jab, jab. The right hook will be register for our next webinar, or maybe we can optimize your Google My Business profile or some other kind of call to action, whatever it might be, where we decide to go from there. And that's the do side. So this process here is critical to growing your audience and creating engagement. And hopefully your narrative has been engaging enough for your audience and at the appropriate size that they're going to really be interested and want to follow you.
Exactly. Deep breaths. Maybe we need that spa music.
I need that spa music.
Yeah. Namaste, my friend.
There we go.
See, think, do, care.
You've now covered how to create a content machine with social media, how to create efficient workflows that will make the process smoother, save your sanity, center your chi, turn your aura blue, make you happy, make your spouse love you more than they did yesterday. And with that, we're wrapping it up here on Live at the Hive episode 193, Digital Marketing from the Trenches. Oh God, I can't stop them.
I was laughing the whole time.
There we go.
Justin's face. He's like, what?
I love it.
I don't know how to. I can't hear the voice changer because if I did, it would distract me. So I don't know what I sound like when that's going on.
Oh.
You did sound like a meditation person on YouTube.
We're gonna clip that for you, Dan.
Yes.
That's it. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we want. I throw these little things out. I try to do these little things because I want at the end of the year to have our blooper reel and our outtakes for the B-roll. Katie's saying that was fresh. Thanks, guys. No, thank you, Kate.
Aww.
Very much appreciate having you here. And to everybody else that's currently watching, we really do appreciate you being here. Next time, and I've had a lot of people say this, that they watch and they lurk. Don't be a lurker. Say hi. No one bites here.
Oh, no, we got that going. Yeah, we do that.
Yeah, you guys have the mics for it. I do not.
ASMR is well, by and large, I find it extremely creepy in a weird, uncomfortably weird way. I don't know if you've seen some of the ASMR that's happening on Twitch, but in the hot tub streams, but you don't. Well, maybe you do. I don't know. It's disturbing. Some ASMR is like okay, but most of it, especially when it's like young ladies and stuff, it's just highly uncomfortable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Brandon saying, "Wow, I don't have context if that's a good wow or a bad wow." Brandon. All right, everybody. It is cocktail o'clock. What's everybody doing this weekend? What are you guys up to?
My brother-in-law has driven all the way down from Winnipeg, so we're gonna visit.
Nice. I'm doing nothing this weekend.
Excuse me. So we have friends that literally bought the farm. Oh, and we're going to visit them on the farm. So we're going to a farm in Wingham, just outside of Wingham.
Oh,
Their whole family bought a farm, like the brothers, the three couples and their parents. Yeah, it's like Waco, Texas. It's like a compound.
Wow.
So we're going to the farm. And Brandon saying, listen, it's purely for the sounds. That's what they all say.
will there be some goat yoga at the farm?
Apparently, we're supposed to bring clothes that we don't care about because the goats will eat your clothes.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
But cute.
So it should be a fun overnighter from Saturday to Sunday, and that's me.
Yeah. Goats are a lot of fun.
Yeah, it should be a good time. All right, everybody. Once again, before I choke, let me just... Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching episode 193 of Live at the Hive, Digital Marketing from the Trenches. We will be back with you next week. Same B time, same B channel. Peace.
Bye.